Let's start. Hello, everybody. I hope that you can hear me well. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. My name is Lia Amoyal, and as the head of Cluster 4 within the Argentum Strategic team, I would be glad to present you our work, our methodology and approach while focusing on the thematics of digital, industry, and space, all together, including in Cluster 4 of Horizon Europe. Before I start, allow me to give you a brief introduction of my company. Argentum specializes in EU research and innovation funding. The company was established in 1999 and since then had vast experience and expertise in obtaining governmental funding for innovative technology and research and development. Today, while focusing on EU non-dilutive funding, we count more than 30 employees divided into 3 departments: strategy, business development, and consulting department. Our vision is to target innovative funding opportunities and to enhance participation and success in multinational research and innovation projects. As to our proposition, we know that the abundance of funding opportunities out there can become very challenging because it is complicated to navigate, and it is part of the submission process in addition to the many details and guidelines that every funding opportunity entails. We have developed a unique method to increase our clients' access to funding while minimizing their efforts. We call this our multi-submission strategy approach, shortened as MSS, which means that we target multiple calls, multiple funding sources to optimize our chances to be funded and to create a rational strategy of non-dilutive funding for the applicant. These grants and tender can be considered as a source of revenue. They are usually competitive and demanding in terms of eligibility criteria, specific requirements, and so on. So basically, we become your partners to elaborate a project that is grantable, in line with the developments you have in your roadmap and the scope of the calls we are targeting. Together with your project manager, we will conceptualize and support proposal preparation until the submission. Thanks to our methodology and professional experience, we aim at increasing your success rate. You will benefit from our expertise, our workforce, and we will work with your technology and tailor it to fit multiple proposal calls. So here is a slide that gives you an overview of our proposal preparation process. First, we conceptualize your project and tie it to the call. If the application requires a partnership in the European grant ecosystem we call consortium, we will use our network and platforms to connect with relevant partners and build a collaborative project. Then, together with the applicants, we will support the proposal preparation and ensure to match the deadlines. While targeting non-dilutive funding, there are several notions, definitions, and distinctions to be presented. First, regarding the thematic of the call, we call bottom-up a call that's open to all fields of technology, while top-down would be a specific call that's aligned with the funding source's priorities. Then, we can divide the calls by their funding source and funding mechanism. We use to split in 3 different levels: European, bilateral, and European. The last point we should consider is the type of application procedure as well, whether the submission is for a single application or as part of a collaborative project, which we said was a consortium. So allow me to present you my team in the strategic department. At Argentum, in order to provide the most adapted and professional service as it comes to European funding, we have aligned our services to the Horizon Europe thematic division by clusters. As we are constantly expanding our knowledge and funding sources, we are dividing our teams in Cluster 1 for health-related projects, Cluster 4 for Cluster 5 for climate, energy, and mobility, Cluster 6 for food, bioeconomy, and natural resources, without forgetting the bottom-up funding opportunities that are actually covering all thematic. And finally, my cluster, cluster 4, digital industry and space, that will be our focus today. Now that you have received all of the basic information about our approach and the adapted lexicon, we can drill down to the list of funding opportunities I prepared for this webinar, while focusing on applicants active in the field of digital industry and space. So let's begin with an understanding of what is Cluster 4. This table directly comes from the Horizon Europe platform, where you can discover that Cluster 4 directly supports 3 key strategic orientations outlined in the strategic plan 2021-2024, which are closely associated to a few destinations. It is structured around the impacts of the project. For the first topic in green, around sustainability and circular economy, you will have one destination that is climate neutral, circular, and digitalized production. The terminology of this topic is large enough to enabling different objectives in the field of industry. So first, to find a new way to build accelerating disruptive change in construction. Second, to develop advanced digital technologies for manufacturing. Third, to enable circularity of resources in the process industries, including waste and CO2. And fourth, to integrate renewables and electrification in process industry. Then you'll have the key strategic orientation in blue about emerging technologies. It will have a particular focus on green and sustainable materials with the program Resilience, strengthening Europe's data analytics capacity and develop data sharing in the common European data spaces with the destination data, innovation in AI, data and robotics for the calls in digital emerging. About the space calls, it will be focused on communication channels and Earth observation in the scope of European collaboration and through European programs such as Copernicus or Galileo. For the destination number 6, it is under the third key strategic orientation. It is about AI on trust, putting the human in the loop and resolving the issue of the black box and the bias. So, if you are still with me, it means that you feel comfortable with the Cluster 4 thematic covering. So in that case, let's give you a list of different funding opportunities you could apply for. First, we will begin with some bottom-up calls, as they are open to every field of activity. Second, we will obviously give some Horizon Europe calls for the upcoming wave in November 2022, but also some insights regarding upcoming 2023 calls that are not published yet. Then I present you some relevant funding opportunities within Eureka, which is an intergovernmental funding source. Thirdly, European Space Agency will be targeted with its ongoing call for proposals, as well as some specific tenders. And finally, I'll present you some examples of EU funding opportunities categorized as Cascade Funding. So, on the slide, you can see examples of 4 bottom-up funding opportunities that have recurrent deadlines during the year, and therefore, they would obviously be part of a typical submission plan. The funding mechanism differs between funding sources, and the budget per project differs according to each program and calls. So we have here EIC Accelerator about breakthrough innovation, Eurostars, which is also a bilateral call, EIB, it's a loan with preferential reimbursement conditions, and EIC Pathfinder, which is an application about research, collaborative research, and should be targeting a breakthrough, also a breakthrough research project. Now about Horizon Europe calls. So between 2021 and 2022, Horizon Europe Cluster 4 has released around 200 calls. Some of the calls have opened and now are closed. However, the topics that they are targeting do not disappear, and there will always be new calls around the same areas: manufacturing, construction, robotics, raw materials, advanced materials, space, and so on. The next reachable deadline for this cluster is for November 2022, and it's focusing around AI, robotics, and smart sensors. So here you have the first destination. There is the destination digital emerging that we have previously read. And we have two calls. So first, new generation of advanced electronic and photonic 2D material-based devices, systems and sensors. The budget, total budget is 16.5 million euros. We have also a second call AI data robotics for industry optimization, 19 million euros, also about robotics. So we have multiple calls under this destination. Let's focus on one, AI for human empowerment. We are currently working on this call for a client, so it's a good example. This call was proposed by the Research Innovation Actions entity, so it is research-oriented, and this call is part of the Cluster 4. The deadline is for November 2022. The scope of activity is to build the next level of perception, visualization, interaction, and collaboration between humans and AI systems, working together as partners to achieve common goals, sharing mutual understanding and learning of each other's abilities and respective roles. These topics are pretty large, and as you can imagine, not a single entity could comply with all of these requirements. So the plan for companies and research institutes would be to design a group of interesting partners and design a project that fits both the call and each participant. This slide displays the planned topics for to be shortly launched through hundreds of calls for proposal for the period of 2023-2024. The main topics are about global leadership in clean, climate neutral and resilient industrial value chains, circular economy and climate neutral and human-centric digital systems and infrastructures, networks, data centers, through innovative production and manufacturing processes and their digitization, new business models, sustainable by design, advanced materials and technologies, enabling the switch to decarbonization in all major emitting industrial sectors, including green digital technologies. Industrial leadership and increased autonomy in key strategic value chains with security of supply in raw materials achieved through breakthrough technologies in areas of industrial alliance, a dynamic industrial innovation ecosystem, and advanced solutions for substitution, resource and energy efficiency, effective reuse and recycling and clean primary production of raw materials, including critical raw materials, and leadership in the circular economy. Open strategic autonomy in conceiving, developing, deploying, and using global space-based infrastructures, services, applications, and data, including by reinforcing the EU's independent capacity to access space, securing the autonomy of supply for critical technologies and equipment, and fostering the EU space sector competitiveness. So this is basically it for Horizon Europe. We could talk a lot more, but it's a good overview of what's been currently in place and what is going to be happening. Now we are going to talk about Eureka clusters. This is another interesting funding direction, which are funded by national funding authorities. For example, BPI France for France, Innova for Sweden, etc. Let me present you briefly 4 of those calls. ITEA4, enables software innovation projects in the smart mobility, smart cities, energy, healthcare, manufacturing, energy, and safety and security sectors. Push the boundaries of technology fields like AI, big data, simulation, and high-performance computing into applications. Smart, advanced manufacturing projects support the adoption, integration, and upskilling of advanced and discrete manufacturing technologies. Your input could help production companies navigate the global shift to advanced manufacturing. Celtic Next, it is a call focused on next-generation communications and transformation towards digital society. XX, about electronic components and systems. It promotes the creation and funding of industrially driven international collaborative projects supporting sustainable digital transformation. So all of these have recurrent deadlines with 1 or 2 cutoffs per year. So we target those a lot. It's a really recurrent. We'll have a focus on one of them, ITA4, because the upcoming deadline is for November, 15 November 2022. And we are currently building collaborative projects around this opportunity. So as we said, this is around software innovation in many fields of application, health, industry, energy, safety, and security, and so on. It requires a small consortium. The project duration is around 3 years, and it should be targeting commercialization. We will not go further with the funding mechanism because each national fund has its own system. For example, Germany does not finance the same way that the Netherlands does. However, we have identified common elements. Level of advancement of the project should go up to TRL 8, which means up around to a prototype. Funding rate goes up to 50% for SMEs. Eligible costs include personal costs, goods, travels. That's the common element. Another important funding direction that we can mention, it is the European Space Agency, ESA. As it is Europe's gateway to space, its mission is to shape the development of Europe's space capabilities and ensure that investment in space continues to deliver benefits to the citizens of Europe and the world. It is important to understand that ESA's objective is to promote space as an asset, open for business application, meaning that you can apply for ESA funding under the condition that 1, your technology can contribute to the space industry, or 2, your technology could significantly be leveraged using the space assets or space technologies. Therefore, ESA is interested to promote and finance projects in a very large variety of fields. ESA provides funding through different tracks. The main one is the ESA business application that provides zero equity funding from 60,000 euros to up to 2 million euros, a personalized ESA consultant, technical and commercial guidance, access to their network of partners, and of course, the credibility of the ESA brand. So we'll describe shortly the ESA upcoming challenge. We've selected 3 that gives a good overview of the variety of tenders, the targeted challenges, the funding opportunities. So ESA publishes hundreds of tenders per year. Here we have satellite connectivity for autonomous land vehicles safety, space for green construction, post-COVID health and well-being. So the expected deadlines are for February, or from December to February. The activities can be funded up to 250,000 euro, and the activities are funded usually between with a rate between 75 to 80%. So the resources that you're gonna need to use or to complete are satellite navigation, called SatNav, satellite Earth observation, and satellite communications. Now, the last direction, the last funding source we're gonna present is about Cascade Fundings. So Cascade Fundings, it is a financial support for third parties. It is a European Commission mechanism to distribute public funding in order to assist beneficiaries, such as startups, scale-ups, SMEs, or mid-caps. And the aim is the uptake or development of digital innovation. This cause offers quite low funding if we compare to the previously mentioned, but seems sometimes like the perfect opportunity to develop a certain feature on your R&D roadmap or to explore a new vertical or a new use case. So here we have three of them, three examples within the myriad of such calls that might exactly meet your field of activity of or your R&D ambitions. So we have Kiklos, which is around innovation solutions for improved digital manufacturing processes. Bonaps, that is around optimization of and deployment of AI in low-tech SMEs. And Stairway, which is a close friend of Bonaps, is looking for low-tech SMEs to improve their product, services, and value chains with AI. The deadline is, we are expected the deadline to open, to be published in the next few days, weeks. So I hope that this webinar was interesting for you and that it helped get inspiration for your next funding applications. Later on, our marketing team will send a follow-up email, and you're welcome to book a call via the link that will be in the email, or book a slot directly in our one-on-one event, which you will also receive in our email. I look forward to hearing from you, and thank you for your time today.